Jesus' parables. My goal is to narrate each of Jesus' 46 parables and to also give you a commentary on each one of them, as time permits. I prefer the New Living Translation over the King James Version because it is much easier to read and comprehend. This is the definition of a parable. Answer: a simple story illustration, a moral or religious lesson. Define rabbi: a Hebrew title of respect for a Jewish teacher or scholar. Jesus was the greatest rabbi of all time. John 21:16 through 18. Jesus repeated the question, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" "Yes, Lord," Peter said. "You know I love you." "Then take care of my sheep," Jesus said. A third time he asked him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt that Jesus asked the question a third time. He said, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Then feed my sheep. I tell you the truth. When you were young, you were able to do as you liked and dress yourself and went wherever you wanted to go. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands and others will dress you and take you where you don't want to go." I am attempting to feed Jesus' sheep as best I can with his holy word, for I am in deep debt with him. He has saved me from death about 7 times, 5 times in Vietnam, and 2 times with a serious heart attack and bad blood clot stroke in the left hemisphere lobe of my brain. Jesus referred to us as his lambs. Why? Could it be because we humans are like sheep? Sheep are intelligent. Sheep respond to the shepherd's voice. Sheep are directionless, and they get lost easily. They are weak and need a shepherd. Sheep become restless. A sheep is a personal, a prized, and a precious possession. Sheep need plenty of water. Sheep follow the voice of their own shepherd, no other shepherd. Sheep cannot get up on their own. Parable 33. The Rich Man and Lazarus. Jesus said there was a certain rich man who was splendidly clothed in purple and fine linen, and who lived each day in luxury. At his gate lay a poor man named Lazarus, who was covered with sores. As Lazarus lay there longing for scraps from the rich man's table, the dogs would come and lick his open sores. Finally, the poor man died and was carried by the angels to be with Abraham. The rich man also died and was buried, and his soul went to the place of the dead. There, in torment, he saw Abram in the far distance, with Abram at his side. The rich man shouted, "Father Abraham, have some pity. Send Lazarus over here to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. I am in anguish in these flames." But Abraham said to him, "Son, remember that during your lifetime you had everything you wanted, and Lazarus had nothing. So now he is here being comforted, and you in anguish. And besides, there is a great chasm separating us. No one can cross over to you from here, and no one can cross over to us from there." Then the rich man said, "Please, Father Abraham, at least send him to my father's home, for I have 5 brothers, and I want him to warn them so they won't end up in the place of torment." But Abraham said, "Moses and the prophets have warned them. Your brothers can read what they wrote." The rich man replied, "No, Father Abraham, but if someone is sent to them from the dead, then they will repent of their sins and turn to God." But Abraham said, "If they don't listen to Moses and the prophets, they won't listen even if someone rises from the dead." This parable has been designed to wake us up. In it we have the coming together of 2 of 4 least favorite subjects, but also Jesus' favorite subject: money or the rich and the afterlife, heaven and hell. Jesus has so much to say about these subjects, and in Abrahamic form, it is all right there in this story. So, so prepare to hear Jesus at his most offensive to the pride of his age. The characters, the rich man. This has been called the parable of the show-off and the beggar. Purple was expensive, made from shellfish. He loved himself and wanted everyone to know how important and rich he was. Life was one long party. Rich were soon to be blessed. Today we wear fashionable clothes, carry iPhones, 4G servers. The rich man knew almost all the privileges a man could have. But there's always a bigger fish, the beggar. The poor man was as destitute as a human being could be, repulsive but loved by God. This is the only parable where someone is named Lazarus from Hebrew, God has helped. The essence of the Christian is one who makes themselves dependent on God and relies on his help. God knew the poor man's name. The rich man was inconsequential. Does God know your name in the sense of it being in his book? God helps, but apparently no one else does. Judaism of that period would likely conclude that the miserable condition of Lazarus was a result of God's punishment for sin, and wealth, such as enjoyed by the rich man, indicated God's blessing. It turns out that the rich man is objectively poor spiritually, and the poor man is rich spiritually. It is as though God could have said the words of Revelation 3:17 to him, "For you say, I am rich, I have prospered, and I need nothing," not realizing that you are wretched, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked. How can we avoid being like that rich man? That was the problem with them. And I thank you.